What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Huge moves coming here for the House of Champs channel. We have picked up TCG Player as a partner. Now, what does this mean though for Market Watch? Your Market Watch is different. You show multiple. Well, they don't want to influence my content at all. Basically, to support me, whenever you shop TCG Player, if you use my link down below, you support me directly. So if you'd already be shopping there, there's a deal to be had. If you use my link, you support the channel whenever you buy and check out, having used that. That being said, I still have your guys' interest. Always take care of yourselves. Get the best deals for yourselves. I want you guys to make sure you're shopping smart. I'll still be showing both on Market Watch. Nothing changes at all. No conflicts with other sponsors. This is a freaking awesome partnership. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's Market Watch with something rising. Maybe I missed something, maybe from the WCQ scene, but Cosmic Cyclone Ultimates are moving up, and they weren't initially moving up when Mystic Mine hype was happening. People told me they got bought out. They were still at 20s. They're like, oh, that's weird. I'm sorry, it wasn't bought out. Now at the $28 point versus market price of $23.82, and only 7 copies over here on eBay rising as well. So, I mean, I think Cosmic Cyclone's an amazing long-term investment. I would have said get the Ultimates, invest in them at any point in time before while they were 20, 18. This is just an odd move to me now that Mystic Mine, you know, the burn decks, the stall variants have kind of flopped. So what do you guys think this is for? I think Twin Twisters is by far superior still in this format. Is this people looking for things, trading out cards, getting other cards? Like, what is happening with this specific buyout from OTS Pack 7? What do you guys think is causing this kind of shift in pricing? Next up, we have Dane. Dane price is still sinking thanks to the special editions. We see no material peaking under $30. Like I said, I think I could see it going to 28. I really couldn't see it going much lower. Sign-up mining already hitting down, but it is much cheaper over here on eBay at $20. So falling even further for some things. No material has one $30 copy before it's like 32 though. So TCG Player overall better for no materials. But I was thinking there's some really good investment calls from Dane as well towards the lower end now. Ib the World Chalice Justicar will be a very great pickup should we finally get Needle Fiber. We're going to have to get it at some point, and I've been saying the off-season's the best place for Konami to drop a Needle Fiber so they can hit it for the next WCQ season. I could very well see Needle Fiber falling in somewhere here to sell a core or side set, and this would be one of the cards I would immediately want to have and would regret not having. And with it being so cheap right now, it's a decent pickup. It's barely cheaper on TCG Player right now for some of the copies if you are shopping there. So Idli, the U-Link Buster, just completely cheap. I don't see U-Linking making a return. Most of the strategies coming out don't focus on U-Links. We're now getting monsters that link with opponents' monsters. I have a problem seeing the Idli, the U-Link Buster, being a huge card, but still, Nightmare by name could do something maybe. And then of course, Crackdown is just a card I think it'll be like Red Reboot over time. Towards the next WCQ season, it's just gonna rise and rise and rise. It's a great card to have overall. Now, talking about suggestions, how about 1-2-Sell? A lot of you guys are asking me, where's that information on Artifact Lancia getting a holo print? Well, here's the official Yu-Gi-Oh site. Here's Battle of Legends Heroes Revenge. Here's Artifact Lancia, which is why I was telling you to sell your extra commons. And Summon Limit, if you didn't know, is also going to be a foil for the first time ever. So, in the upcoming Battles of Legend, yeah, you might want to go ahead and have some of those ready. That's Heroes Revenge. So, looking through here, Artifact Scythe would be really up there for a potential reprint, wouldn't it, coming up, if Lancia is in the set? We saw, you know, Battles of Legend before has done Sanctum, has looked at the artifacts, and now is once again. If Scythe's not in there, you have a really good investment. But I don't think Konami will be missing it this time, considering we've seen it gone all the way up to 20. They've talked about Scythe in articles. Trap Trick really moved it this year. I don't think they'll be missing Artifact Scythe as a reprint, which a lot of people agree with, which is why its price is very down compared to what it was. It's not just because it's not appearing in the meta. So I personally, my move would be to sell Scythes, but you have a huge win if it misses a reprint slot in Battles of Legend, and then doesn't appear in an OTS or something after. I could see that sense of humor towards it as well. But near mint copy is under $10 once again. Didn't think I would see it before a reprint was announced, and here we are. It's pretty awesome. Now, talking about other things I would sell, I just have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion, one of these reprint sets are just going to clock the Madolches. They keep going up in prices. Chocolate a la mode's at this insane price. This is something I would get rid of if it was extra, but a lot of people who have Madolche cards have the deck, want to keep the deck, they really like the deck. So just if you have this, be aware of the pricing and just think about it. That's a lot of money for something that could just, oh, we've released a lot of Madolche support lately, this could also be in Battles of Legend. Know that it is probably in Konami's eye, and I think is just up there because quantities are low, and it's something I would personally sell. But let me know your opinion on it. Do you think it's only up from here? Do you think it's going to go to 50 or, you know, something ridiculous? Do you think this is going to really hold in there and not trickle back down? We've seen Magellan jump towards 29, 27 multiple times, yet it keeps falling down towards $18. Do you think somehow Chocolate a la mode's really gonna hold in there? My advice, sell it. That's just me. I was looking around the Legendary Duelist, and White Dragon Abyss is one I don't bring up enough, and I think there's two really good cards to get out of here over time. The first one being Cyberload Fusion. Cyberload Fusion has gone up over time. I think Cyberload Fusion, though, being unique to this Duels pack, despite being a super and really being up here, is something that I would just have access to as a Cyber Dragon player. Most of you guys got it cheaper, $4, you know, when the set came out. But now it's gone up over time. That's something to be aware of. Something that I think is highly undervalued, though, on the second page is Blackwing Full Armor Master. Now, you would have to shop from these sellers, you know, to get the best deal, be buying something else from them because of TCG Player's new system. But over here on eBay, we do see you can just grab some for $3 as well if you're, you know, not just... quantities, I think, on this card are ridiculous. Like, this is an ultra rare from Legendary Duels, and it's an insane boss monster. Yes, it takes specifically a Blackwing tuner. This card's really good, and I think it's going to see its time at some point. It's going to. It has to. This card is amazing. So I think $250. You know, if you're finding something else from them, you know, $3. This card's insane, and I would definitely just have a copy in the back of my binder and not trade it. So if you do have these, this is something I would keep as well. Out of a Legendary Duelist, it's just such an insane card. Trickstars. This is an interesting conversation I had with somebody. Trickstars. Should I keep these going into the ban list? You know, they're not going to get hit. I think they're pretty good. Reprints are over for most of them. Corbanes and Savage Strike not going to get reprinted. People were using Trickstar, though, as the engine for Mermaid in the TCG. I don't think they're on the chopping block still, but they peek into the top cut as they have been. It's a really weird place for me because I could see some outlandish roundabout reasoning to, oh, this helps make Mermaid, let's slap this. Or maybe it performs at Worlds in some capacity, let's slap it. I really just think that Trickstars could get okey-doked hit on the FNL list, but it's highly unlikely. I do agree it's unlikely, but I could see this roundabout logic into hitting it. Otherwise, I think you have a pretty safe investment. Do be aware Light Stage, you know, was hit in the OCG, and we do see that in the engine as well. So that's why I do think there's a roundabout logic too. Hey, this could get hit on the FNL list, but whenever you talk FNL list, you are talking speculation, you are talking gambling in some senses. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Trickstars could be up for some kind of hit on the Forbidden and Limited list coming up, or do you think they're scotch-free once again and they don't have enough of a presence despite appearing in Orcus list and that kind of thing? You know, we've seen the engine mixed in with Sky Strikers before, now Orcus. Will they finally perhaps go for Light Stage? Pendulum calls just something I didn't know was back up to this amount of money, and apparently it's been there for a while. We see $5 copies for the Pivo Supers, which is the top card out of Pendulum Evolution, and we see the starter deck commons. I did not know this. $3.50. So just something to be aware of. You know, a little cheaper here, $3 before it's $4, and it's more expensive. These, I didn't know they were up there like this for the common once again. Last I had looked, it was like $1.50. So over time, this has risen. Picking bulk definitely helps educate myself more on Market Watch when I look up cards I'm curious about. And this is one of those finds that, like, wow, this is ahead of what I thought. Then again, I haven't peaked at Pendulum Evolution in forever, and there it is as the top card. so a lot of you guys might have known. Collectibles. This is interesting. On the secondary market, this is climbing fast. The World Championship 2018 pack is really going up as we head towards 2019 Worlds. This is a pack a lot of people thought would stay down there towards 250, 300 as it had bottomed out. And now we see towards almost $600 marks on both. It quickly rises on eBay. There are a couple I noticed on Troll and Toad. These envelopes are damaged, just the envelopes, but the envelope is part of the collectible, so do be aware of that. At $350 if you want just the cards, and then $430 for a mint envelope. So that's the cheapest I found on market so far. But to note, if you've been holding off on these, like they're starting to rise. If you're like, oh, I'm a Blue Eyes collector, I need every Blue Eyes, you know, Dark Magician, very iconic cards. And I told you guys, over time these things do tend to go up. They do tend to double up. So it's interesting to me to see the prices rising over time like this, right towards the WCQ. What do you guys, think about crazy collectible cards like this? There's a lot because locals handed these out for World's Day, and we'll get, I assume, World's Day again this year. So it's just another thing to keep in mind. Now, the previous one, the Ghost Rare Dark Magician World stuff, $3,000 pack. That one's a little bit crazier, right? The Monster Reborn Dark Magician Girl, I believe it's a Blue Eyes Alternative pack. That one is insane comparatively to this and blows it out of the water. So what do you think might be the future of these two? And what do you think the true ceiling is? I don't see it passing $1,000. I just can't. No matter over whatever amount of time. There's so many in circulation. I personally can't see it. But what do you guys see as the future for this? The collectible market often exceeds our expectations. Thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. What do you guys think of all the moves? Like I said, Market Watch is going to be the same. I'm going to show you cheaper prices where they're cheaper, and always your interest has been 100% what I have in mind whenever I'm bringing you content. Thank you again so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And again, if you're shopping TCG Player, use that link down below and you do directly support the channel. Thanks for watching.